They're awesome. Everyone was amazed by the two men, who moved past the trees and toward the Dark Lord. As they approached, everyone finally realized who the two elderly men were. Master Herman, Sir Leon. Silas was overjoyed to see them. They're finally here. Ivy and Maria cheered at the new arrivals, who were none other than the leader and assistant leader of the Invincible Guardians, Herman and Leon Delgado. You're finally here. Hector and the rest of the Harmon family heaved sighs of relief. Now that the leader of the Invincible Guardians was here, the Dark Lord couldn't do too much damage. After all, these two men were martial artists who were close to becoming grandmasters. I hope you can forgive us for arriving late, Hector. Herman lowered his head respectfully. Of course. Having you two here is already a godsend. Hector smiled. Things had seemed quite bad earlier, but fortunately, there hadn't been much real damage. Let's not waste time. We'll take care of things from here. Herman turned around to face the gazebo. Dark Lord, you've committed grave sins. Bold of you to not surrender yourself now that the two of us are here. No wonder you guys weren't afraid. You had the Invincible Guardians protecting you. The Dark Lord narrowed his eyes. If you're scared, you better kneel and apologize right now. We might spare your life that way. Leon bellowed. Scared? Fat. Guilds like yours always like to bully people with numbers. How strong can you be? I challenge you to a one-on-one fight. The Dark Lord taunted. Why would I need Herman's help to deal with the likes of you? Leon snorted. You better remember what you just said. The Dark Lord's gaze darkened, a sinister smile on his face. Hold on. Dustin suddenly called out. Sir Leon, you're no match for him on your own. You have to work together if you want to have a winning chance. Nonsense. Leon glared at him. I'm nearly a grandmaster martial artist. I can take care of this fat divine-level bastard easily. I'm just giving you a piece of advice. Even animals give it their all when catching prey much weaker than them, so there's no need to risk it, Dustin responded. Shut up. How dare a stupid brat like you tell me what to do? Step aside. Leon was pissed that Dustin would question his capabilities. What? Dustin frowned, and his expression turned cold. If you insist on doing things your way, forget I said anything. He only gave that piece of advice because of the Harmon family, but since Leon refused to listen to him and even insulted him, he might as well just turn a blind eye. Foolish brat. Silas glanced at Dustin and sneered. What would a stupid pig like you know about Sir Leon's strength? You could never even hope to reach his level. Dustin, Sir Leon is a semi-grandmaster. You shouldn't talk about things you don't know. Others might laugh at you, Ivy grumbled in displeasure. She's right. You should watch how Leon takes his opponent down, Maria echoed. All of them saw Dustin as someone who liked to talk others down to make himself feel good. The Dark Lord might be a powerful person, but he was still a divine-level martial artist, which was nowhere near the level of a semi-grandmaster. Let's hope things turn out the way you're hoping they will, Dustin simply responded. He's said everything he needed to say. If he said any more, he would just make a fool of himself. Sir Leon, I think he's right. If you're too scared to fight me alone, you can ask your leader to join the battle. Otherwise, you might suffer an embarrassing loss, the Dark Lord taunted, aware that guilds like these cared more about their pride than anything else. As he expected, Leon was furious at his words. Yeah, right. Killing you is a piece of cake. I don't need anyone's help. Here I come. He jumped into the air and unsheathed the long sword behind his back. Clutching the sword with one hand, he thrust it toward the Dark Lord at an incredible speed. His sword is so fast and powerful. No wonder he's a semi-grandmaster. He's so strong. The crowd marveled at his strength. They had never seen someone as strong as Leon. You're doomed. Leon bellowed, and his sword shone as his attack increased in power. Foolish bastard. The Dark Lord chuckled coldly before swinging his hand, which was curled into a claw. This caused Leon's blade, which was less than 20 inches away, to stop mid-air. The sword trembled violently but didn't move at all. How is that possible? Leon was shocked. Before he had time to react, the Dark Lord reached out and struck Leon's chest with his palm. Immediately, Blood spewed from Leon's mouth, and he flew backward. Go to hell! The Dark Lord took advantage of this opportunity and struck again. A huge shadow in the shape of a palm hit Leon hard. Leon! Herman paled. He quickly drew his sword to counter the Dark Lord's attack. There was a loud bang as the two attacks clashed before the shadow palm disappeared. Herman reached out to catch Leon when the Dark Lord suddenly fused with the shadows and slammed into him. You must have a death wish. Furious, Herman brandished his sword. Instantly, thousands of shadow swords appeared. They trapped the Dark Lord from all directions and then flew in the Dark Lord's direction. However, they didn't seem to affect the Dark Lord, who was able to phase through the shadows and counter with another strike. Oh no! Herman's eyes widened, and he instinctively raised his sword to block the oncoming onslaught. The blade shattered on impact, and the Dark Lord quickly followed up with another strike to Herman's chest, crushing the man's bones and causing him to cough up blood. Herman flew in the air before crashing into the ground, head first. It had only taken the Dark Lord 2 seconds to defeat Herman and Leon. What? Everyone exclaimed, flabbergasted. No one had expected the two semi-grandmasters to lose so terribly to the Dark Lord. Master Herman. Terrified, Silas, Ivy, and Maria dashed toward their mentor. Herman and Leon were severely injured, they bled profusely from their noses, and they couldn't get back onto their feet. How is this possible? The leader of the Invincible Guardians actually lost. The Harmon family couldn't believe their eyes. The two semi-grandmasters had been their final trump card, and they'd thought they'd have a winning chance against the Dark Lord, yet the latter had eventually won, which begged the question, if the Dark Lord was stronger than Herman and Leon, which Harmon family member would stand a chance against him? If the two of you had come at me together, you could have won against me. Unfortunately, your confidence and pride blinded you. The Dark Lord peered down at them. Aren't you just a fully developed divine-level martial artist? Herman gasped, clutching his chest. How was I going to lure you out if I didn't hide my true strength? The Dark Lord chuckled. Although he had been confident that things would turn out in his favor, he still didn't want to take any risks. You treacherous and shameless bastard. Jacob swore. Nothing matters as long as I can win. The Dark Lord grinned. Also, aren't you curious as to why I finally decided to show myself after all this time hiding? Why? Hector asked uneasily. I've been biding my time and building my strength. The Dark Lord puffed out his chest. Actually, I've already evolved into a Grandmaster martial artist. His words shocked everyone, causing them to break out in a cold sweat. There were many skilled fighters in the martial world. However, it was rare to find anyone so strong. Countless geniuses spent all their lives trying to break that barrier and evolve. Herman and Leon were the perfect examples. Although they were semi-grandmasters who were halfway to becoming grandmasters, the gap they had yet to fill was so profound that they'd been stuck at their current level for the past decade and still hadn't seen any improvements. Therefore, it wasn't an exaggeration to say that becoming a grandmaster was near impossible.